So Chris, we're talking about leadership, and we can hear a lot about the agile or the agility of the leadership. What does it mean, and what does it look like?
Agility is indeed one of the other qualities that leaders should have these days, because we talked about the complexity of the environment, right? And we sometimes call it the VUCA environment, right? It is volatile, it is uncertain, it is, it is complex, and it is ambiguous, right? VUCA. And this is exactly what we talked about with the pandemic and the social experiment, everything that was changing so rapidly. And also the challenges for leaders, right? Because on the one hand, we want them to be visionary and the role models, and we want to look up to them. And on the other hand, we also want them to be humble and to be listening. So it's challenging for leaders, right? And what we think, and that's a concept that comes from the software industry, the agile, and it's a really interesting concept that we can apply to leadership, because we don't need finished products before we put them on the market, right? That's what we want to say. And when we talk about MVP, for example, in sports, it's the most valuable player. But when we talk about agility, it's the minimal viable product. So let's say in your organization, you're thinking about a new ticketing system, right? And what typically before you would test and test again and test again before you put it on the market. It has to be 100%, no mistakes, right? But today, if you do it like that, your competitor will already have launched their system, so you will be behind, right? So agility today means that you can work with a system that is not 60%, perfect. 70%, not perfect. And then you listen to the feedback of your customers. And then you fine-tune a little bit. You tweak your product or your service a little bit. And in that context, what do we expect leaders to do? We expect them to be very adaptable. And we have and it's on the slide that we're going to present also in the PDF, in the manual. We have 3 qualities in this agility. First one is to be hyper-aware, right? The hyper-awareness for what is happening around you. Because the context is changing so fast, you have to have your network, right? If you're working in the football industry, you have to have your network in this European network. But you also need to look at other sports to learn from that. We talked about rugby. You need to look at hockey. What are other sports? Esports. You can learn from esports. Fan engagement in esports is totally different, right? So you can learn from that. So you need to be hyper aware of what is happening around you. Second thing is, there's so many data around. So much data, right? You have business reports. You have player statistics, especially in football, right? We've taken it from baseball and from the NBA,
from the US.
And now it's here, and we have learned from Moneyball, and we even call it soccernomics and things like that. But it's important to not to have your intuitive decisions, not to make impulsive decisions. You need to have data to make your decisions, right? But then also you need speed of execution, right? You can't wait until the product is 100%. You need to have the courage to go with 60, 70%. So, and if you combine hyper-awareness with informed decision-making and speed of execution, then you have your agile leadership. Yeah, so it's really a challenge for leaders, but it's incredible if you're able to do that.
As a CEO of a company, I can definitely feel you in what you say.
But we are not all Winston Churchill. So sometimes, you need to know that you are capable maybe to analyze the data, but you're not so good to speed up the process. But maybe somebody in your team has these abilities. And because you treat them, because you have observed them, you are capable to create this kind of dream team that could be agile as a team and not as a leader, because it's really something that is damaging and motivation and damaging people. It is that as an organization, we just say, you have to do, and we don't, include the organization in the problematics, the topics, or whatever. We will see that in the video about the Formula 1 case tomorrow with Pierre Gasly.